All right, we are live on YouTube, and I am just waiting for the video to connect on my other monitor over here so that I can grab that link and put it in our free business mastermind group so that our community can join us quickly and conveniently on YouTube. So let me grab this link. All right, we got that. Let's put that in the group. Okay, now that's cycling and posting. And then I'm going to double check to make sure that I can see the YouTube live. Let's see here. And I can see the live chat. So we can go ahead and officially get started. Welcome to the Her First Six Figures Morning Show. That is an interactive coaching and training experience as a part of a free business mastermind group to position Black and Brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by showing you how to make the money and create time freedom. Now, our blog this week is at shaycannon.com/leads. That is shaycannon.com/leads. And I'm going to put that over there on the YouTube side because today we are closing out a 4-episode series called The Hidden Cost of Inconsistent Lead Generation. All right. If you don't know by now, leads in a lead generation system is the lifeblood of your business, right? So leads is if I really wanted to go anatomically correct, leads are like the blood and the system would be like the circulatory system, okay? There has to be something to keep leads flowing, and that needs to be a system. All right. Now, this has been a 4-part series, and the first part was on Monday. And so part 1 was about the beginning of your system, which is lead magnets. Okay. You need to have one. So if you don't have one or more, you need at least one. And we even talked about the 10 ways to make sure that your lead magnets are effective. So go back to Monday. That was part 1. Then on Tuesday, we talked about part 2, which was consistent content. Okay. Consistent content is a huge driver of your circulatory system, that is your lead generation system. And what it does is it gives an opportunity to get traffic to different things, including your lead magnet. So if you want to know how to have consistent content, you need to go back to part 2, which was on Tuesday. So catch that replay. Yesterday, we did part 3, which was about diversity. And we need diversity of platforms in which we are putting content and sharing our lead magnet so that we have more than one source to get leads from. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. So if you want more about that, including 10 ways to diversify your platforms, then I need you to go back to yesterday's replay. That was part 3. Today, we are closing out our series, and we're talking about something that Dr. LaFera brought up on yesterday. She's frequently ahead of the curve. So we're talking about follow-up today. We're closing it out with the follow-up because you can do everything to get leads, but until you follow up with them to give them more calls to action, to direct them along the way to where you need them to be, then what are you getting leads for? You're getting them for not, okay? Good morning, Shawana Mac over there on the YouTube side. So follow up. Most entrepreneurs celebrate when they generate a new lead, but then they make the fatal mistake of doing nothing with it. They assume that because someone showed interest, they'll automatically convert into a paying client. The reality, most people won't buy immediately. Without a strong follow-up system in place, those leads cool down. You did all that work to warm them up. And what they'll do is they'll cool down, forget about you, and move on, which means you're constantly starting from scratch when you need sales. So getting a lead is only the first part of the buyer's journey or the sales journey. Most people need multiple touch points, okay, before they feel ready to make a purchase. A well-structured follow-up system ensures that leads stay engaged, warmed up, and ready to buy when the time is right, all right? So that was the blog, but here on the morning show, we give you more. So I'm going to open up these show notes. And what we're going to talk about are the 10 biggest mistakes you may make with your follow-up, the problem with that, and the solution. All right. So let me go ahead and get our question, because y'all know it helps y'all when I give y'all the question early so you can start thinking. So The question is going to be, what obstacle do you have to following up with leads? And of course, which one of the strategies that I'm going to share with you was most helpful? All right. So we got that over there on the YouTube side too. So YouTube, you can answer in your YouTube live chat the answer to the question. So let's start with number one. What is the biggest? We're going through the 10 biggest challenges to following up with your leads. We're going to talk about the problem with it and the solution. So the number one biggest problem is no automated nurture sequence. Now, that's just another way of saying you don't have a funnel. Okay. So no automated nurture sequence. The problem with that is leads receive your freebie or they get whatever value you give to introduce yourself. But they never hear from you again because there's not an automated system in place to give them those touch points, right? Now, some of you may say, well, I do that without technology. Yeah, but the problem is you can't scale you doing it manually. So there are people you are missing if you don't have an automated way of doing this. Okay. So set up an automated email sequence. You can do a welcome email, then nurture emails, and it builds trust and it guides them through the journey to your offer. Okay. Now, number two, delayed or inconsistent follow-up. See, this is the problem with manually trying to do that, right? So the problem is if you don't follow up promptly, which is timely, right? You don't follow up consistently, leads lose interest and they forget about you. So the solution is to use a CRM, a client relationship management system, or some type of automation tool. Now, most of you have email marketing platforms like your Go High, Go High Level and Active Campaign, MailerLite, Constant Contact, and all of those things. Most of those are email marketing technology, and they promote themselves as having CRM, but they're not true CRMs. They just have CRM-like features. A true CRM is something like a sales team person could use, like your HubSpot and your sales drive or pipe drive and things like that. But at the level that most of us are, we don't need the true CRM system just yet. Now, y'all know my favorite is Go High Level. So Go High Level does the true CRM and it does the lighter version that like Active Campaign and all the others do, which is really email management and email marketing. Okay. So just a little plug for Go High Level. And y'all know I'm going to put my affiliate link in the show notes. Okay. And in the description below. So CRM. And what that's going to do is it's going to help you to manage your follow-up messaging, who's a great lead and all of that kind of stuff. So they can go from interest to being a buyer. And you're able to follow along on an individual level what's happening with each lead. Number three, follow-up content lacks value. Now, earlier this week, what I told you is when you follow up and you send an email, the subject line and the body of that email cannot just be a reminder. Nobody really opens those, okay? So you can't just be like, oh, okay, don't forget that you can buy this, and then the email copy is all about the product again or the offer again. We have to give value, and it's almost like giving medicine to a kid, right? Or even a pet. You got to wrap it in something, and then the medicine is inside. So the same thing with our follow-up emails. We have to give value, and then as a PS or a mention, we remind them about the thing that we want them to do. Okay, so you can find one thing that is something that they always wanted to know, one thing of interest to them. The subject line is about the value, not the reminder, and then you give them some value in it, and you can interrupt the value with your reminder and then finish the value, or you can give all the value and then do a PS of the reminder. However you want to do it, but the email itself cannot be focused on just what you want to remind them about, okay? So that's how we fix that. So you provide valuable insights, case studies, or success stories that educate and reinforce why they should work with you, and then the PS or the reminder is to work with you. All right? Number four, no personalization in your follow-ups, okay? The problem with that is generic one-size-fits-all messages feel impersonal and get ignored for the most part. Now, this is where your email segmentation comes in. We did a whole week on email segmentation, so you can go and search the blog for segmentation and find that. But at the end of the day, everybody should have either different tags or be on different lists. That's segmentation. Okay, so that you're not talking to everybody about the same thing, because everybody's not the same. For example, on my email list, there are the rock stars, like the ones that are in studio right now, who have been with me for years, who have taken every workshop that I have. There are VIP clients that already have a roadmap. And so I don't talk to all of them the same, because why would I be talking to someone who already has a roadmap from me about getting a roadmap? You see what I'm saying? So have you ever been on somebody's email list and you think to yourself, I've already bought that. Why are you talking to me about that? Yeah, that means they did not segment their list. And so they're talking to everybody as though they're the same. And what happens when they keep doing it? You start to ignore them, don't you? Yes, you do. And that's what they're going to do to you. So we need to segment our list so that we can personalize the messages based on the segment that they're in. All right. Number 5, no multi-touch approach. Okay. So the problem with that is you're relying on one follow-up method, one method, not just one message, one method. So maybe just email, and that limits engagement. Okay, so the solution is to mix it in, mix up some emails, mix up some social media DMs, some SMS or text message targeting messages, and then some retargeting ads. We want to have multiple touch points across multiple platforms. Okay, because they didn't just happen to be on your email list and they're nowhere else. They're probably also on your social media. So we want to just keep in mind that we want to touch people in different ways. Again, when you're doing your lead magnets and stuff, you can feel free to also ask for a phone number. This is how you build up your text message list, because that's going to be different than your email list. So how you start that is you start asking for that phone number, okay? Number 6, not addressing objections within your follow-ups, okay? So the problem with that is leads may hesitate to buy because they have doubts or concerns that haven't been addressed, okay? So the solution to that is also in that email, you start tackling some of the common objections to your offer. And you should know your offer well enough to know what the common objections are, okay? So you can have in there a little something in the little reminder part or the PS part where you're reminding them about your offer or reminding them about the call to action. You tackle one little problem they may have with the offer at a time. Now, let me give you some examples of some problems. Problem could be price related. Okay, so you need to be talking about the value and the transformation more than you're talking about this price. The problem could be time commitment, right? People that say I don't have time. I love people that say I don't have time to create content, because I always tell them, oh, you don't have time to make money. You see how I overcame that? So yeah, if you want to make money, you probably gonna have to create some content unless you have a full-blown marketing and sales team and you have a high ad budget. Oh, you don't have that? So you don't have time to make money. So something like that, right? Well, not with my attitude, do it in your own sweet way. But and another way that you talk about that is the return on investment of the time or the money. Okay. So you can do that with testimonials, frequently asked questions, and educational content that basically is answering these questions and these objectives before they have a chance to throw that out as an excuse. All right. Number 7, no reminder or re-engagement strategy. The problem with that is that leads forget about your offer and there's no structured way to bring them back. So what you want to do is you want to use email reminders, deadline-driven offers or urgency, and re-engagement campaigns. So as a re-engagement campaign, you can have an original 5 to 7 emails that is your original promo reminder emails. Then you can wait a while and bring in like 3 more to remind them that. And it can start off with something like, are you still having the problem of, right? Or it can start off with, by this time next year, you could be in a totally different place where you're bringing back that, hey, I know you're still in pain because you never bought the solution, right? So that could be a re-engagement type of campaign. Number 8, no call to action in your follow-ups. Leads don't take action because follow-ups lack a clear next step. Let me tell you how sometimes we give people too much credit. Okay? Too much credit. Not that I'm saying they're stupid. They're not. But we give them too much credit and that they're always thinking about us or that they're going to remember what we said. They're not. Okay. Some of the changes you've even seen me do on this YouTube channel is because I took for granted that people would understand if they like this morning show, they will like the episode and they will subscribe. Well, people aren't thinking about me or my show. Okay, they like the value, they're keeping a mental note of the value, but they're not thinking about liking the episode and subscribing. Even though me as the show host, I'm thinking that's a natural next step if you like something, because if I turn it around and when I'm a viewer of something, I am all into the content, but I never think in the moment to like the episode or subscribe until they remind me at the end. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did like that. Let me like and subscribe. Okay. So we have to do the same thing. We have to give a call to action. You think that because you sat there and gave all the details about an offer and told them what, until you say, click here to buy, a lot of people be like, oh, that's right. Let me go ahead and get it. Okay. And then you add that urgency in, but we need calls to action. Quit assuming people know what to do. I need you every time you mention the offer, tell them what to do next. Okay. If you have ever bought anything from me, I have made it a habit, a part of my process, that in the email that you get, there's always a section toward the end that says next steps. And I detail them out because I have found that y'all also, when you buy stuff, you glancing through the email. You telling me you don't, what do I do next? And when I know I put it in the email, right? But I put it in the email as a part of a paragraph. And because you're busy and you're glancing through, you're not sure what the next step is. So now there's no denying it. It's bold, it's together, it's bullet pointed. You see what I'm saying? And so you can find it. We have to give clear calls to action. So every follow-up should include a specific call to action, book a call, reply with a question, join the webinar, download this, go here, bookmark that, buy now, all of these things, okay? Number 9, ignoring warm leads who need more time, okay? I want you to think about your own buying process. Everything that you buy, you don't buy right when you first see it. You might make a mental note that, yeah, I need that. Or, oh, I was looking for somebody that does that, right? But you still don't buy right in the moment. And sometimes what happens is when we're ready to buy, we can't remember where we saw our solution that we wanted to buy, right? We can't remember, was that an email? Did I see that on social media? There has been so many times that I've seen a Facebook ad of something I wanted to buy. And then when I'm ready to buy it, I can't find the ad. I can't remember what the name of the account was, so I can go search for them. None of that. And even if I remember who it was that ran the ads are different than their posts, right? And so the ad might be giving a good deal, but when I go to their account, I can't find the ad, right? And so now I might lose out on that discount. That's the average person. I know how to go in the ad library, but I'm just saying the average person does not, okay? So we need to be reminding them. So leads who aren't ready to buy yet are left behind, causing missed sales later on. So the solution, keep warm leads engaged over time. Last week, we talked about your marketing runway. That's what that does, okay? So with a long-term nurture sequence, periodic check-ins, and valuable content, we're bringing all of this together. That is what's going to help them to remember that those are going to be the reminders of the call to action. All right. Number 10, last but not least, we're not tracking or optimizing our follow-ups. Okay. So the problem with that is you don't track responses and open rates. You don't know what's working and what's not working because you're not keeping up with the data. So the solution is use your analytic tools to figure out what's going on, okay? Let me tell you, inside of your email marketing platforms, you send an email, you're assuming everybody that you sent it to opened it. But did you know that inside your platform, you can resend the same email to the people who didn't open to give them a chance to open again, okay? But you won't know that if you're not in there looking at your open rates, okay? Another thing could be that you're looking at the click-through rate. Okay, so that lets me know you got this email, you opened it, but you didn't click anything. So based on that, I might change the subject line and then change the value a little bit and resend it to those who didn't click through. Now, what about the people who did click through, but they didn't buy? Then that tells me the problem was on whatever they clicked to. So that might be your sales page or whatever. So you can always go and update the language on that sales page, send another email. But you don't know to do any of this if you're not checking your data. Okay. So we need to check our data and optimize stuff. I had another thought, but I think it escaped me. Let me look at the no tracking, optimization, or follow-ups. I know I wanted to tell you. There's also another trick that you can use, okay? So almost every quarter, what I do, definitely annually, depending on how many discovery calls that I have had, I look at the data of my discovery calls of who bought from a discovery call and who did not. And I compile a segmented list of those who had a discovery call but did not buy. And I will send an email with a special discount talking about, I know you still have this problem, whatever, to just those people as a follow-up, right? But if you're not tracking stuff, you can't do things like that because you don't know who to send it to. Your stuff is not segmented and you're never looking back after you have completed sending stuff. We got to look back at stuff. All right. Cool beans. So that was the 10. We're going to start with Dr. Latoya. The question is, what obstacles do you have to following up with your leads, and which of these strategies is going to be most helpful for you? But I'm going to go through the 10 again without the extra as a reminder. All right. So number 1, no automated nurture sequence. Again, these are the things that are in the way of you following up with your leads to make them successful. Okay. No automated nurture sequence. Number 2, delayed or inconsistent follow-ups. Number 3, follow-up content lacks value. Number 4, no personalization in your follow-up. Number 5, no multi-point approach. Number 6, not addressing objections in your follow-ups. Number 7, no reminder or re-engagement strategy. Number 8, no call to action in your follow-ups. Number 9, ignoring warm leads who need more time. And finally, number 10, no tracking or optimization of your follow-ups, okay? So I'm going to tell YouTube over there and all 8 of you that are watching, or is that 2 people? Whoever's watching on YouTube, you can answer the question in the YouTube chat, and we're going to go to Dr. Latoya. Dr. Latoya, what obstacles do you have to following up with your leads, and which one of these strategies it was the most valuable to you?
Yes, I am not sure. I'm going to go into my automation and see if I am addressing objections, because I don't know if the series, like, yeah, that's a very good thing. So, but I don't know if it's in there or not. So I'm definitely going to go and check and see if I do that. And then also, I don't like pull people out. So kind of that optimization, I don't pull people out once they have opted into something. And yeah, I think that diminishes that, yeah, that kind of personalization. Because yeah, people like, I'm already doing this. Why is she still sending me the email about that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And it gets annoying. Like it's a perfectly logical mistake, right? But to the person, it gets annoying. I know I get annoyed like hell. And I almost be wanting to come off some people's list. I'm like, hey, I'm already in that. Stop it. But yes, that is something that is worthy of attention. All right, Shawana Kennedy Media, what obstacles do you have to following up with your leads, and which of the strategies was most helpful for you?
Yes, not an obstacle, something that I'm working on is the re-engagement, because what I have done this week is with the lead magnet, I just yesterday recorded for all 7 follow-up emails. So once they sign up on the lead magnet, I have created the 30 to 60-second videos to go with those. So that's what I'm working on right now, to actually add the videos to the nurturing sequence once they have gotten my lead magnet, the updated lead magnet.
Okay, now.
So it's that re-engagement with the other folks that are already on there.
It can be both, because you can definitely use a lead magnet. So for those of you who have a list and you're saying your list is not segmented, you can send lead magnet-esque value to separate them out, right? So if they sign up for this thing that you send in an email to everybody, then now they have this tag. If they sign up for this, then now they have this tag. So for those of you who have a list, and it's not segmented, you can begin to segment it by sending them things that can also be lead magnets, even though they're already a lead. And what you want to do is make sure that lead magnet pulls them into a group that is smaller than the bigger group, right? So for example, on my list, it could be people that's having a problem because they haven't, they have problems associated with having a team, and then some people can have a problem associated with not having a team. So I could create a lead magnet that's talking about how to better manage your team, and then those with a team will sign up for that. Now, will some people sign up for it that don't have a team? Yeah, but so what? Now I'm going to talk to you like you got a team because you signed up for it. That's not my fault. Okay, but we want to niche down the value that they sign up for to kind of pull them into a smaller subset category. So that's how you can do that. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, what obstacles do you have to following up with your leads, and which of the strategies was most valuable for you today?
I need to do a better job with the automated follow-up sequence because I had to move all my stuff to Kartra from Klaviyo. And so I'm in the process of creating that. But in the past, one of the things I didn't do very well was like tracking, like actually having like a legitimate way of tracking. I would look at the open and close and click through, but I'm doing better with that, and so that's my answer. I don't really see it as a challenge. I just have to make time to do it because I really do all my CRM stuff right now. So yeah, I guess that's my answer.
I just realized I've been all in the comments under my personal account on YouTube. Let me switch that out. Okay. Really? That's fun. Okay. So I love that for you. So okay. So we already know, you said Kartra, you already know Kartra kind of sucks, but
well, yeah,
working with
but
what you
see,
got.
right, I need a overlap, a gap thing. So while I'm moving to go high level, I'm fixing Kartra because like I still need a way to communicate.
Get it. I get it. I'm just saying, we already know they suck. I know that you
It's
fixed
broken.
it's so broken. However, what I remember is this is why, so a tale of we're gonna say obstacle from Dr. Fair. Reason why she's moving Kartra and finding something else, go high level. Yay, go high level. Is because Kartra let her down. She's doing all the work of the follow-up, and these people are not getting the emails, right? And so she's had to switch platforms, but she would not know that Kartra was not working for her if she was just sending emails and not checking her data. This is why you got to check your data, people. So Dr. LaFera knows that she needs to be checking her analytics. So when she's looking at the deliverability of her emails, what's happening is she realized a lot of people aren't getting them. And then she's testing them. Like I work with her to test emails. Are you getting it now? Nope. Did you get this one? Because I sent it out. No. You know what I'm saying? So she's knowing, she's like, she's looking in the system and she's testing, she's looking at the data. We all have to do that. Okay. Cool beans. Let's go to Dr. Ayana. So Dr. Ayana, I know this may be new for you. However, what obstacle, now that you know what you need to be doing with following up with leads, what obstacle do you think you would have with the follow-up, and which of the strategies would be most valuable to you?
Morning, everybody. Yes, it is. It is a new concept, and I love this. I know that two rise to the top off the bat. Number 4, which is no personalization with the follow-ups, and number 5, no multi-touch approach. So, because those are things that I hadn't really thought about. So I know for a fact that those need to be applied for me. I need to definitely employ texting, SMSing, ads, and so on. So that's going to be one that I need to do. And the segment, I like that idea very much because like you, I get annoyed, and probably everybody else, I get annoyed receiving things that don't apply to me. Even text messages, group text. Lord, I'm not going to get on a tangent. Okay, thank you.
You trying to make me mad this morning.
I can't take it.
I hate a group text. All right, cool beans. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what obstacle do you have to follow up with your leads, and which of the strategies was most valuable to you?
So when I get to that point of actually doing the emails with that type of thing, I realized something. I said to myself, Dorothy, you had the power to go home all along. I'm thinking about what you do in terms of, well, first of all, the thing is the reminder and re-engagement strategy. Obviously, I'm not doing that yet, but that's something I will do because it occurred to me the same way you remind people about the morning show is the same way I ought to be reminding people about shows on the platform.
Yes.
But because I don't have that list yet, I haven't, but it occurred to me now. So I had the power to go home all along. That's my answer.
Yeah, I love that. So one of the things that you can do that's very easy for you, it doesn't require you to think about what the lead magnet is and all of that, is you can tell people to sign up to get a schedule every week. Now, let me tell you, that's a manual thing. I'm gonna tell y'all how Dr. Latoya, when I started out with the sign up for the show notes, Dr. Latoya was like, "Oh, that's great. Is that automated? How do you automate that?" I was like, "No, it's manual." But I use templates, and you know what I'm saying? I make it easier so it doesn't take long, but it's a manual everyday process that y'all get these emails, right? But so Dr. Tachi, while you have interns, and try to streamline the process to be as not time consuming as possible, so that when you don't have interns and maybe you haven't hired the assistant yet and you have to do it, making sure that and the thing about it is, really, it doesn't change from week to week. People just need to be reminded from week to week. So it's probably something you can set and forget until you add a new show. So that's one thing people can sign up for your network, because even Kimberly has said, I got to remember who's coming on when. So once you keep hearing that over and over again, that lets you know, hey, I have an opportunity to create a process for that. So people would sign up to understand what's happening each broadcast day. And then now you have a list, and now you can talk to those people, and now you can sell things to those people. And then you have a list that you can start to segment out. Does that make sense, Dr. Tachi?
It does. It does. That's good.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Dr. LaFera said, does Go High Level have dynamic fields to update dates for future campaigns? I'm gonna come back to that because I gotta understand what you mean by dynamic fields. I feel like it has everything that Active Campaign had. So there's that. Cheryl. Good morning, Cheryl. You've been missed. What obstacles do you have with following up with your leads, and what strategy from today did you find most valuable?
No obstacles, but number 10, following up with the data, keeping up with that. And, I try to look at least once a month. That's just not enough because it can change day to day, quite frankly, especially depending on the season and what I'm launching or whatever. So it's number 10.
Love it. Love it. All right. Let's go to Sasha. Sasha in the house. Sasha in the house. So Sasha, I know that you're starting with your leads, but what obstacles, now that you know what you should be doing, do you have an obstacle to actually executing any of the things? And which strategy did you find most helpful?
As far as the obstacle, I don't know yet. We'll see. Hopefully I won't, because I'm doing this beforehand, but all of them that were helpful. The one that I highlighted was number 10, like when you were talking about not tracking responses, but then also like resending to people that didn't open the email and looking like, so I actually, for my corporate job, I work with the email team on the strategy and whatnot. So I was literally like, oh my God, I should ask her if they can track metrics like that. But for my personal business, I was thinking about that too. But what I also wanted to ask is, so I get a lot of people, like companies reaching out to me for like platforms, like we use SEMrush at one of my jobs already, but like competitors. And it's honestly, it's like kind of invasive how much they will like reach out to you, like email, but LinkedIn. I actually like last week had someone call my personal cell phone about a platform. And I mean, I work at Home Depot. Like I can't tell I have no pull at Home Depot to tell them to use some other platform. And it felt really like invasive. And I actually told the guy, I'm like, how did you get my cell phone number? Like, that's really invasive. He's like, you got it off of LinkedIn, but my phone number's not on LinkedIn. But long story short, keeping that in mind, because I've been on the receiving end of getting targeted and pinged, like what would be like the right cadence to be like retargeting people? And I know it might vary by your business, and obviously if you've actually had like a discovery call with them, it's a little different than the cold calling. But I think that would be something I keep in mind, is like the cadence of reaching out to people, especially if they're not being responsive.
That's really good. So this is where for us, you need to know your ideal client, right?
Yeah.
Because it's when you know the person you're reaching out to, there are things that you can do to vary it up so it doesn't feel that way. Right. So, for example, you might send something in the morning that has a lot of value. And because you sent it in the morning, they have all day to see that email and open it and respond to it or not respond to it. And then maybe in the afternoon, there's another email that said, or in the evening, there's another email that says, hey, I know you just got off work and you sent a little funny joke, right, to help them decompress. And then you got PS. It's a reminder. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you have to know your audience. And this is why you need to know more than just the demographic of how much they make and how old they are. You know what I'm saying? Are they male or female? This is why you have to know that stuff. For example, I know my people. All of y'all are busy. Most of y'all have another way of making money and you're trying to build a business and you have a family. So I can't do certain things knowing that you're busy. They're not going to work. I know that unless I'm wrapping it in storytelling, right? I can't do long form stuff with y'all. Now I can do it. I simply have to wrap it in storytelling. But what it can't be is this long statistical fact laden. Y'all not gonna read that. Okay. This is also why I said in the emails, when you buy something, I have this section. Like I say what I want to say, welcoming you, all of that. But I have this section of what you do next is in bold. You can't miss it. So if you're busy and you don't have time, you can click right to that section and say, oh, okay, this is what I need to do next. Right? So you just have to know your people.
Okay.
Now, also, there is this mix of when you're worrying people, but there's also people who feel like if they send more than one email, they're worrying people. And let me tell you, if you can't send more than one email, they're not interested anyway. They're not going to buy anyway. They need to get the hell off your list. Okay. So for me, I like it. I like to have a list of people that I can talk to as often as I want to because they're interested in what I have to say. They're interested in the products that I have, even though they may not be ready for it right now. Right. And so I have this thing in my head to help because I hate to be bugged. I hate to feel like a bugaboo. And so in my head, though, I have this reframing that if I can't talk to you, then you don't need to be on my list. So either you're going to buy as in spend your money or buy as in get off my list. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's what we have to remember as entrepreneurs, because these other businesses don't care shit about sending us emails every day. And let me tell you, think about your habits of opening emails. There are people you haven't bought from in a long time, and there are people that you intend to buy from. You have not unsubscribed, even though they talk to you every day. Some of them talk to you twice a day, right? So we need to be just as aggressive, but you have to know your people, because you can be aggressive in a way that's not a bugaboo, right?
Yeah.
Because it's again, it's like dating. So a guy that you like, you know what I'm saying, he can't be corny enough. You don't like it, right? But a guy that you don't like, I don't care how funny it was, you sick of him. You know what I'm saying? You don't like him. So be the one that they like and that they're gonna laugh, even though you are lame. Okay, so that's the one we want. Okay, so yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. LaFerra said 2 or 3 times a day. Some of them, yeah, I know, but you didn't unsubscribe, did you? Because
I had Target, I had to unsubscribe because they were.
That's what I'm saying, though. But
but also other reasons. But
you made a decision about them.
Yeah.
So that's why you unsubscribe. And guess what? Target probably thanks you for getting the hell off their list because you're not gonna buy.
Yeah.
And because you also need to understand that these lists, some of your email platforms are charging you based on the number of contacts that you have in there. So you don't want contacts just sitting there and they're not even your people. You want to give them off. People that's on my list know every now and then I send an email that tell them, hey, if this is not your thing, feel free to get off the list. It's no harm, no foul. Because I don't want you on my list if you don't want to be on here. Get off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool beans. I loved it. Thank you for that, Sasha. That was a whole nother. This is why I love when y'all ask questions. Okay. So Dr. LaFerra, back to your question about dynamic fields. Come off the mic and tell me what you mean by dynamic fields.
So, like, in one of the platforms is Keep. If you have like the name field could kind of be like a dynamic field in some of these platforms, like because it changes with every new person. So like in gotcha. Keep, If say I had a webinar last month, but I'm having one this month, and I go somewhere and I don't know how you do it, but like if I go somewhere and say my new webinar is this date, it goes in all the subsequent emails like that you like from your old sequence, and it changes the dates. So you don't have to go back and redo all the dates and all the emails. So you can still like when new people sign up, you don't have to go back and make sure it didn't have the old date on like all the emails in the other sequence.
Now that I don't know. That sounds like an advanced feature and not really a feature that most of them would have. So that I don't know. You're gonna have to do a little more research, but hell, when you do it, let us know. Because we want to know about that.
So what do you do? Like, cause otherwise if you don't recreate a sequence just cause you have a change
the hard way.
Oh,
So
okay.
again, if you find out, let us know. So yeah, manually. Dr. Latoya.
Well, since they do have so yes, they do have a dynamic field. When you go in, you just don't put you're going to have to create it as an event or as a product, and then use that as the dynamic field. So it'll automatically always update to that new tag. It's going to be how you have to create it. But yes, it's possible.
There you go. And that's go high level, right, Dr. Latoya?
Yes, that's go high level.
There you go, Dr. LaFera.
Appreciate it.
I know that's right. I appreciate it too. All right. So we've gone through a whole week, y'all. Lots of value. We're talking about your lead magnet system that you need to have in place. So what I want to know, and this is a come off the mic, we're not going to go around everybody, just come off the mic and tell me what was the biggest game changer for you from this week, having a lead generation system. Was it anything about the lead magnet, about consistent content, diversity of your lead source platform, or even today's subject matter of a follow-up? Come off the mic and tell me what was the biggest game changer for you this week. And if nobody had a game changer, I don't force nothing, not even ponytails. We'll go to the announcements. All right, we're going to the announcements. Okay, so our free business mastermind, this morning show is more like a class for that. And with class, you have notes. If you want my notes, there's only two ways for you to get them. The first way is you have to be in the free business mastermind. We needed time to think. You gonna have this. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna come back to it. Okay, so you can get it in the group in the files section, or you can sign up to get the entire morning show in your email inbox by going to shaycannon.com/show. And what you're going to do is you're going to sign up, and you're going to get 2 emails every broadcast day. One to remind you to hop on the YouTube live, and one in the afternoon that's going to give you a link to the replay and a link to the show notes, okay? Or the class notes. So sign up at shaycannon.com/show. Y'all can be thinking, I'm gonna come back to y'all. So be thinking if you have any game changers. So today is Thursday. So today we're going to have our collab live today at 12 noon. It's in the group. I live stream in the group. It is not on Zoom. So you meet me in the group at 12. We're only going to do this 30 minutes. I'm just going to be facilitating. I'm not training. I'm not bringing value except for trying to match you up. So your job is to come on while I'm on and tell me what you need as a collaboration, and then tell me what you're willing to give as value in exchange for that collaboration that makes it a win-win. Okay. Now, what kind of collaboration do you need? One that helps you to make money, one that helps your business to grow. So think about those different types of things and meet me in the group today at 12 noon Eastern time. All right. Tomorrow is a Get Shit Done work session. It's usually for the paid membership only, but on Fridays, we allow the free group to come in on the last half. And so those event details are in the group. All right, last call for alcohol. What was the biggest game changer for you from this week having to do with having a lead generation system? Did anybody want to come off the mic? This is last call for alcohol.
I think my biggest game change, I'm trying not to make this be just because it's fresh in my memory, but today's point about segmentation is major. I really think that's going to be a game changer.
Okay, I'm gonna try to I'm going to try to find the blog on segmentation and put it in the notes before I publish the notes out. So look for that. So I'll do that. Anybody else have what is a game changer from this week about your lead generation system? All right, cool beans. I love it. It was a lot to digest. Cheryl, did you want to add something before we get out of here?
Yes, having an organized system.
Yeah.
Just having a system. You know what I'm saying? We can have all the pieces, but if we don't organize it to make it a process for us that we can repeat, and then, it's a habit, we're lost.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Cheryl. All right. This was a lot. This week was a lot. It's going to be one of those weeks that you probably need to bookmark the blog and bookmark all of our morning shows and keep a collection of the show notes because it's very much a game changer in your business when you understand that, like Cheryl said, this is a system. These things don't just happen. You have to be intentional about them. Dr. Ayana said, excellent series. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, guys, if you want to find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, or how to get in our highly valuable free business mastermind group, I need you to check out the description below for the information and the links. All right. Again, you got value this week. You got great value. So I need you to like the episode, give us a thumbs up with the episode. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and understand this today was one of 4 in the series. So check out the other videos. All right. Cool beans. With that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3,